Hello and welcome. In this video I'm going to present to you the release notes of Boyum IT's Beas Manufacturing 2020.06. We're going to start out with the highlights and then outline the new features and improvements of the fresh release. Stay with me and get familiar with all that the new release has to offer. Before going into details, let's go through the highlights. Within the MRP area, now we can define item version in forecasts. In the item management area, we added a new functionality for the end stamp field and improved warehouse sorting in HANA. We are also releasing 3 new web apps in the quality control area: QC by sample, QC by test, and QC transfer. For these, we have added new QC objects in the Beas service layer. As for business performance, we have optimized SQL statements in absorption cost reports. Among other things, we have added validation of previous errors in transaction notifications, set the search function to be not case sensitive in several windows in HANA, enhanced the user rights window, and improved the summary function in Windows settings. In the next 3 slides, I'm going to give you a short introduction to our new web apps in the quality control area. With the QC by sample app, you can select an open QC order and provide the values of the testing by sample. Only open samples are available here. It is possible to add blockage reason, valuation reasons, and define a methodology in a separate pop-up window and provide measurements directly in the list view. With the QC by test app, you can select an open QC order and provide the values of a testing for all samples. Only open samples are available. In the test tab, you can see different tests linked to the QC order. If you select a test, the app switches to the samples tab where you can specify the measurement value for all samples within that test. With the QC transfer app, you can select an open QC order and transfer its items from the QC warehouse to the release warehouse. Similar to the desktop version, identify the QC order, select a line from the list, and select the desired transaction type to perform and save the document after adding all mandatory information. Finally, piece of news regarding one of our picking apps in Terminal 2.1. In the picking list SAP web app, the system does not support SAP bin warehouses. You should receive a warning message inside the app in case you select a line for an item that is stored in an SAP bin warehouse. As a new functionality, MRP now checks item version that was defined in the forecast. It was already possible to define an item version in the forecast, but MRP ignored it. Now MRP reads the item version as well. Please note that MRP calculates the saldo on item level on item version level. In the item master data, before an end stamp field was not updated when a substitution of bill of materials was inside Change Bill of Materials window. In this release now we have added an update statement to this field. In the HANA version, warehouse information was sorted randomly in the item master data. Now Beas displays warehouse code order according to the warehouse list in HANA, similarly to the SQL version. In the Beas service layer, we have added a new entity with all quality control information. It includes a lot of functions, the complete QC logic, and allows you to connect to the complete Beas QC order functionality via REST service. You can find detailed information in our Beas service layer's online help. We have optimized several queries in absorption cost report. Now the calculations are significantly faster in this report, and it also gives a highly improved filtering by dates. This change increased the calculation speed in the following modules: absorption costing, increased speed, and prevention of allocation memory errors; import production activities, cost calculate, and SAP Business One financial report. Now the filtering in some windows is not case sensitive and finds the records whether they have uppercase or not in the field to be searched. Here in the screen you can see a list of windows affected by this change. In the previous versions in SAP Business One transaction notification, we had to call the Beas transaction notification procedure, and this call was always executed. Now we have added a validation to execute it only if no previous errors exist. In case there is a previous error, we do not execute the Beas procedure and we return the error directly. We have improved the Beas user rights window. The following functions now available: Windows settings support, search function in the bottom of the window, rule check to check authorizations that are linked to other authorizations. Please note that creating purchase order is now only allowed if the user has authorizations for purchase requests. In the Windows settings, you can activate the summarizing function. Now it is possible to activate the summarizing function for string fields as well, for example for UDF and template fields. In this example, in the operation catalog, the UDF field 1 was defined with the name items. UDF fields are always string type. After this setting now, you can see the sum of all rows in UDF column items. Please note, the system converts the text string to a number. Comma and point are allowed as decimal delimiters. If it's not a number or the field is null, the system ignores the line. In the Beas.ini, now you can configure a loading of the company list with a new parameter named getCompanyList. In this final slide of our presentation, you can see our planned releases for 2020. The release titles are derived from the respective months they are made available. In Q2, we released 2020.05 in May, and now we're releasing version 2020.06 in the end of June. As the flowchart indicates here, we're planning to come out with a fresh release every 1.5 months until the end of the year. Please note that this current state of planning may be changed by Boyum IT Solutions at any time. This concludes our video on the new features, existing feature and system improvements and fixes of Boyum IT's Beas Manufacturing 2020.06. We encourage you to upgrade to this latest version of our solution and keep in touch concerning any questions you might have. Please visit our community on the link below and stay tuned for our upcoming videos.